Hi, I'm Nick Lanker guy. Lately, my app started to feel slow. My AI agent fix didn't stick like they used to, and the layout looked like three different people made it. Buttons had one style, cards had another, and the calendar looked like it didn't belong even to my product. So far in my app, I only gave order to the AI agent, and I never actually looked into the code or used any dev tool to understand what was going on. But today we're gonna have a look at it. Look, what's happening? Why there is this mess? And today we're gonna look into some very basic tools that everyone can use, and it's gonna be much better at understanding what's wrong with this code in order to provide the AI agent with the best prompt to actually solve the problem and not create another problem on top of it. Before entering the video, I'm building a SaaS app in public vibecoding with AI. I will also automate every part of the business with AI agent and automation workflow. If you want the real playbook, strategy, prompts, full automation workflow, tap like and subscribe. New episodes weekly. The only thing we need to understand for this video is the difference between HTML and CSS. Basically, HTML it's what's on a page. Meanwhile, the CSS it's how it's gonna look like. Looking at this example here, the HTML is the skeleton. Basically, it is what exists on the page. Meanwhile, the CSS is the skin, how it looks like, the style, and so on. Another rule of CSS is that the last code wins. And basically, what does it mean? It means that if we stack too many layers of clothing on our human, basically the one we will be able to see is the last layer. So if a human wear a jacket, what we will be able to see is the jacket and not the cloth underneath it. All right, now I'm going to look into the file of my app. First of all, I'm going to look for the CSS. I can find the CSS under static and CSS. As you can see, I have several CSS files, and the last four of them are all theme. So right now, not necessarily these themes are being applied to the website at the same time, because we need to check now in the HTML, is the skeleton actually wearing these skins right now or not? All right, now we're gonna go into templates in order to look at the HTML. So what we want to look at is the base HTML, because base HTML is basically the framework that gives structure to my whole website. All right, so the first thing we can observe is the Bootstrap CSS. Basically, Bootstrap is a ready-made design kit for the web. It gives you pre-styled buttons, cards, modals so that you can build faster. And this is also the first layer of clothing that we have on our website. As you can see, we can find really several CSS custom layers applied on top of it. Some of them are vendor CSS. For example, if I import a calendar, I keep the CSS of that calendar, and that is imported into my system because my framework maybe in the beginning didn't have a CSS for the calendar, right? But many of them are actually layers built on top of it, on top of my base framework, such as, for example, the custom CSS, the light theme CSS, and so on. You can also see that the link at the end of the code, like for example, style.css, is actually the file that we have observed in the CSS files. Basically, this means that we are using all these CSS files at the same time. The issue is that these files, they are not simply building the CSS of something specific. Like say, for example, I want to download the custom CSS for a button because I really like it. That's fine, but this framework, they are comprehensive. They build the whole layer of some pages and they are stacking on top of each other. Now we are going to use a more specific tool, which is the tool inspect, and we are going to use this tool to see on a specific card or button or whatever you want, what exactly is happening over there. Now you can see that the tool appears on the right side of the screen, and if you click on the top left button, you will be able to highlight which part of the website you are interested to or are looking into. So now I'm going to select a button and the specific code of the button has been selected. Now the window that I'm looking into is called style, and basically it shows everything that is being applied for me to see that button. This also shows you where these settings are coming from. As you can see, the first components are coming from Tabler Dark, and then we have styles.css, and then styles.css again, theme.css, style.css. Therefore, we can conclude that this is a mess. It's very confusing, it's very slow. And the result of this is that when maybe we want to give the AI agent a prompt and say, change the color of this button from orange to yellow, maybe he does it, right? But maybe he does it on the wrong theme, on the wrong file, and then he say, oh yes, I've applied the fix, and then you check and it's still the same color of the button. In the window next to style, there is computed, and basically that window it shows what settings are the winner and basically what are we looking at in the website, and it doesn't show the settings that have been overwritten. So what do I need now? I need one clear design system that is going to make my app look the same everywhere. It's going to be faster loading pages, and it's going to be easier to tweak around without surprises. So the solution that I found for my case is to migrate my design to Tailwind plus DaisyUI. Tailwind is a box of Lego bricks for design, small descriptive classes like padding, spacing, and colors that I add right in the HTML. That means fewer mystery files and fewer surprises. DaisyUI sits on top and gives me polished components, buttons, cards, modals, plus a theme switch. I set my brand as a single theme and everything follows it. Together, they generate just the CSS I use. So instead of loading 7 style sheet, I'll ship one lightweight file that's faster, especially on mobile. For vibe coding, this combo is perfect. The class name describes the look, so it's easy to talk to an AI agent and say something like make this primary button small with more padding. No hunting through the old themes files. In the DaisyUI website, we can find several components that are already pre-built that we can use. And we can find already some ready-made theme. But also, and this is why I really like DaisyUI, we are able to build our own theme and see already how it's going to look like. All right, so now that I have found my solution, I need to make sure that I can apply it safely and define the best way to apply it. I also use a second AI because it helps me transform vague ideas into concise, brief order and prompt that I can give to the vibe coding AI agent, which is in this case the builder of our app. This separation between two AIs reduces mistakes and speeds things up. After I explained to the coach AI what I wanted to do, the first part of the prompt that he provided me to ask to the vibe coding AI agent was the status quo of the app so that the coach AI could understand better and clearly the situation and if it's possible to migrate to Tailwind plus DaisyUI, which then allow me to craft the main prompt. And this is now the final prompt that we have received from the coach AI to feed into the vibe coding AI agent. The prompt that is gonna allow us to migrate to Tailwind plus DaisyUI. Replit divided the goal into several smaller tasks, and I gave the order to proceed. It took quite some time, and I had to tell him to proceed to the next step, to the next phase several times. Finally, the agent has finished with the migration. The reason why our website still does not look like what we were expecting is because there are still several older theme HTML structure present in our website, such for example Bootstrap, which was our main framework HTML, as well as the components that we observed previously in the DaisyUI website have not been fully constructed, or the components have not been fully translated from Bootstrap to DaisyUI. So therefore, we're gonna still give our AI agent some prompts in order to get where we want to be. As you can see in my Word document, I asked to remove the Bootstrap system and the code from almost every page. It's a process of going page to page and make sure that the AI agent remove the previous lingering HTML and apply the containers and the HTML of Daisy UI and Tailwind. Right now, you can see the result of the migration from Bootstrap to Daisy UI. So it did not change drastically my website, of course, because I didn't change any HTML structure, but at least we have solved the problem that we wanted to solve. You can now see when I inspect something like a button that it doesn't pull from several CSS files anymore, but it sticks to the files it's supposed to. You can also observe that in the base HTML file that I am sticking to only one framework, and that is, here it's called output.css, but that is the Tailwind plus DaisyUI CSS file. I know this is not the final look of my design, because definitely I will look into some custom UI and then apply them to make my website look even cooler. And this is all for today, and I thank you all for your curiosity and for sticking with me until now. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you.